Wow. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, go ahead. Are you hearing me? Good evening, everyone. Wow, it has been, I don't know if you call it a sabbatical, a break. I haven't been on this wonderful program for some time, but it's a pleasure, absolute pleasure to be back with you guys. My name is O'Neill Campbell. Welcome to everyone, including those via Facebook, YouTube Live, on the Love 101 Facebook page, and of course, the YouTube channel. Family time is about your issues and your relationships. You're at home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries, which enable healthy families, which will lead to healthy nations. Stay with us and please join in. I am O'Neill Campbell. How you stay when it comes to what to eat? Is it meat, and more meat 3 times a day, every day? Or are you a mix up kind of person? I'm a carnivore, if I may say so myself, so at the bat. So there's going to be convincing that has to happen today. Fish today, beef tomorrow, Wednesdays and the rest of the week, all veggies and soup? Or are you fully into the vegan lifestyle, where not even fish or cheese touch your lips? Let's add another dimension: raw veganism. Yes, you heard that right. Raw veganism. Well, there is such a thing, and maybe you and your family would like to consider it. Lots of people already are, and that's what we're talking about today. So tell us this: how does a fully plant based diet sound to you? What would make you consider it? WhatsApp your text and voice notes. Make sure it's no longer than 30 seconds to 876-997-3125. Calling, you can also call lines 876-968-8327 or 968-8328 to participate. And throughout the program, we'll share it. And remember, you can watch us live on Love 101, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll be right back with our guests. Right back with our
We have only prizes, that's summer thing. So make you flew and take you wheel for your spin. All you do a look for the text, you come in and then you click, on the link for your win. Spice it up, activate, add it up, elevate, pin it up, let's go, win it up, quick. Join your mobile phone to your home or app plan to your floor phone.
Win tablets, smartwatches, mobile plans, Google Home Minis, and more. When you spice up your summer with Flow, just add your mobile to your home internet or activate any 5-day or higher unlimited data plan to win. Everybody wins every time.
Add it up and spice it up with Flow.
Dial *129*6 to activate or visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Stay informed and keep up to date with all the happenings locally, regionally, and internationally. Follow My Jamaica Today on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Also check us out at jamaicatoday.com as we bring you all the information you need wherever you are, with fearless and factual reporting on politics, world news, business, entertainment, sports, and lifestyle. It's My Jamaica Today, Jamaica's first digital media house, only 3 clicks away.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from C&WJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The Community and Workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
Get on your path to greatness with Gatorade, the world's #1 sports drink, and win in the Scratch to Greatness promotion. Purchase 4 bottles of 20-ounce Gatorade from Progressive Grocers from June 28th to August 13, 2021, and scratch the card for a chance to win instant prizes or the grand prize of a home gym setup. Visit Gatorade JA on Facebook and Instagram or www.scratchtogreatness.com for more details. Participate and scratch your way to greatness with Gatorade. Authorized under Section 58.3 under the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act. Conditions apply.
DJ, Bongs, Digicel and make we rich together.
Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial *142 from your postpaid phone for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Enter to get $500 off your monthly postpaid bill and 10 international minutes to USA, Canada, and the UK. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
Welcome back to Family Time on Love 101. And welcome to our special guest. I believe we have Tashna Samuels on the line, she should be joining us in just a moment.
I'm here.
And we should also have Mr. Iwara Safari as well.
Greetings.
Hi.
Tashna, are you there? So Tashna has been a Aryan for the last 3 years, I believe, and she's been
I didn't hear it clearly, but I heard the last part. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, everyone on Radio Land and online. Hi, Aurora.
Hi, Tashna. How are we doing? Greetings to everybody as well. And welcome to a good show. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Not a problem.
Anil, I'm not hearing you so clearly. Iwar, are you hearing him clearly?
No, not at all. I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me? Is this better?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this better? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Anil, I'm hearing you better now.
All right, that's great. And Awara, can you hear me as well?
Yeah, I'm hearing you much better, Anil.
Just a second here.
Anil, if you're talking, I'm no longer hearing you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Got you. Got it. All right. So sorry about the glitches that we're having at the minute. All right.
That's
So
okay. It's technology. It happens.
right. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Now this is absolutely brand new to me to some extent, for the most part, because as I said, I'm a carnivore at heart, right? I'm sure a lot of disagreements will happen, but I'm very interested to find out what this new this well I shouldn't say new what this is all about. So before I get to that though, I want those who are our audience to remember this is the question: how does a fully plant-based diet sound to you? What would make you consider it? WhatsApp your text and voice notes, please, no longer than 30 seconds, to 876-997-3125. Watch us and comment live on the Love 101 Facebook page and YouTube as well. Lovely platforms that we've added to the FLM family. All right, so, and let us have your thoughts as well. An increasing number of persons are becoming raw vegans. Many have been for years, including celebrities such as Venus Williams, Woody Harrelson, Alicia Silverstone, Megan Fox, Sting, and much more. There are many others who swear by a raw vegan diet as the best way to prevent and reverse diseases and to stay young and vital, or be, vitalized. However, as a dedicated meat eater myself, I'm not so sure about this raw plant-based diet. I won't say I discard vegetables, of course, but so I'm going to need some convincing, or at least a lot of questions answered, and I'm sure you two would be more than able to do so. And I'm sure I won't be corrected on that. I'm sure you guys have a lot of knowledge on that, and I'm looking forward to hearing your conversation or hearing your reasons for doing this. So, in terms of the raw veganism, what exactly is it? Who would like to start?
I think Iroar should start. He's king of raw. That's what I call him. He actually taught me the way, so I think you should lead.
Okay. So you're the able student. Okay, go ahead, teacher.
Yes.
All right, so you're saying in terms of raw veganism, what it is?
Yes.
Okay, so, well, all right, so vegan, actually, let me start with break it down because raw vegan is a combination of two disciplines. And the vegan is basically, everybody knows that as it started with a movement where they're animal rights people, but what they do is that basically you do not consume any animal-based products. And where the vegan society is concerned, a lot of these persons would also don't wear leather shoes and so forth. So really and truly, our lifestyle of being a vegetarian, we're talking about something that vegetates. We're talking about the plant life. That's what the vegan lifestyle when it comes to food eating. That wouldn't include dairy. That doesn't vegetate. That wouldn't include eggs. I know you have persons who say they are vegetarian, but they eat eggs and so forth. But we're talking about what vegetates. Now, the raw food lifestyle now is where we are now saying that we do not want to denature or lose the value of what it is. So we do not cook in terms of fire. Heat is allowed, and dehydrating. So, the best example to say what would keep it alive is almost like, O'Neill, you can stand the temperature of the sun. I doubt you would be able to stand being in fire. So the food can be dehydrated at sun temperature, and it will still retain its nutrients, its enzymes. Like, for example, I could dehydrate some chickpeas for 12 hours, and I could now soak back those chickpeas in water and sprout them, and they will grow a new plant life. You wouldn't be able to do that if you put the chickpea in fire.
Exactly.
So that's the difference.
So it's similar to, let's say I have a friend that
this is would I say she's fully vegetarian, but she does that with sorrel, and I think yeah, she does that with sorrel, and when it's dehydrated, it has a lovely taste as well in terms of when it puts it in food application. So I get that science behind it, or what you're speaking to. That's really cool. That's cool. I can appreciate that. So that's one check mark for you. All right. So but I'm sure you have a whole range of experiences you could speak about and the transition. But let me go to your able student, Tashna. Now, for you are, I guess, still on your journey. But what actually did you think flipped the script for you in terms of transitioning from vegan and then approaching now for the last 117 days, as you mentioned before, the raw veganism approach?
Okay. I didn't hear the first part because I got kicked out, but I can tell you why I'm currently raw vegan. So it all started last year, in about March. I have eczema, and somehow it just got really, really, really bad. And I'm the type of person I would rather go to a natural remedy than before I go to medication or pills and injections of those sorts. So I know that he knows the way of healing or recommendations through food. So I had a consultation with him, and he said to me, the best way to do this is to do a detox. And that would involve just eating fruits and vegetables only. And when he told me that, I was like, what? Fruits and vegetables only? Because I love my food, I'm like, I don't see how fruits and vegetables can sustain me and keep me. Because in my mind, we're so cultured to see a lot on our plate. And somehow fruits and vegetables to me just couldn't be it. But because I really wanted to take the benefit for my health. Yeah, in my mind, I'm like, that's super lightweight, right? So I took the plunge. I'm like, you know what? He has the knowledge. He's guided others before. Let me try it out. And I did that for 15 weeks, I should say. And I was amazed. I wasn't as hungry as I thought I would be. In fact, I was not hungry. In fact, the first week or so, I overbought at the market because I was like, there's no way I can get enough fruits to sustain me. And there are times when I had things spoiling on me because I wasn't able to go through everything. So in doing that 15 weeks now, I end up losing 35 pounds. I did not work out. It was just through what I was eating. And that was strictly fruit, vegetables. At the time, he allowed me to cook it, but I was just sauteing it. So I couldn't add any oil. So you call it high raw. But I lost 35 pounds. My skin got a lot better. It wasn't completely cured, but it was a lot better than I started off with. And so I did that. And I loved how I felt at the end of it. And then this year now, April, I decided to do something with my mother. And in doing that, we decided to do a raw challenge together. So in April, I did it with my mother. I did it for 30 days. And since April, I have not stopped. The benefits have been amazing. I'm just energized. A lot of persons are saying you're radiating. You just look so much happier and at peace. And it has to be the fruits and vegetables. I'm telling you.
All right. So let me stop you there because you're surely on a roll. I like an athlete on the track. We're going down the back stretch. You're able to hear me clearly, correct? Just checking.
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yeah, man, still hearing you.
Cool. So what I'd love for you to do is to transition now with that fire in your belly and that passion that you definitely exude to give us a little demonstration of what your thing is about, So.
Okay, so what I'm making is called nut meat. I have it at his location, Be Hungry as well. But I put a little twist to it because I love flavors, I love seasoning, and what I share with other persons, let me just get the ingredients quickly, because I know we might be on a time crunch. What I tell persons, what makes a difference with food is the flavors they add to it. I mean, chicken on its own, pork on its own don't taste good until they put some seasoning on it. So the same thing you can do with meat, you can do with vegetables. So being raw vegan, you have access to so many things, not just fruits and vegetables, but nuts as well. So what I have here is almond nuts, which I have soaked. So the best way to have your nuts when you're being raw or overall is to soak them. helps to get more nutrients out of it. So what I did was to soak this from yesterday. I have in it garlic. Any opportunity I have to put in seasoning and flavors, I do that. So I soak it with garlic, some dates to add some sweetness. So I'm going to add that now to the blender. And the flavor doesn't stop there. I have some garlic and onion. I'm adding that now.
Hold on, you said garlic for sweetness?
No, man, dates for sweetness. Dates is similar to raisin.
Oh,
but I've added. So I soak the dates with the almonds, and I just added onion and garlic. I'm adding tomatoes now. So you add more vegetables to it. It helps to make it stretch. So you don't have to use a lot of your nuts because nuts can be expensive. So in order to stretch it, you put more vegetables in it. So I just added some tomatoes. I'm adding carrots and bell pepper now. I don't know if you guys can see that the blender is becoming full. And I love to add herbs to my food as well. So I have celery, cilantro, as well as some scallion in here. And that ends it for the herbs. I'm now going to add a bit more flavoring. I have some liquid aminos, coconut aminos. And you don't have to get this complex, it's just that I love flavor. Some pink salt, not a lot.
I just hope your teacher is watching because this garlic thing, though, and I don't know how that goes. So wait, I'm going to ask him if the teacher agrees.
Some nutritional yeast. Paprika, smoked paprika, and grounded cumin. And now we're going to blend and get everything grounded together. It shouldn't have been on such a high blend. If you're talking, I'm not going to hear you. So I'm just going to, everything is combining now. I'm not sure if you're seeing it. Can you see?
Yeah, man, don't worry, I'm just talking.
You have to work it here and combine everything. One second, I'm just going to check that everything is combining properly. I'll soon give you a preview of what it looks like. It smells amazing, by the way, because a lot of this has been soaking since last night.
I'm smelling it from here.
Oh, you are far too kind, Iora.
Don't
far too kind. So I know the show has to continue, so I'm going to stop blending and just show you the consistency of it now. So this is what it looks like now. So everything is blended and seasoned, and it's that quick.
All right, we need to install smell-o-vision, but I can see that well with all that you packed in it, you surely don't need anything else for the rest of the day because you pack that blender up.
I did, and I'm not sure if you saw how much almond I put in there before, but this is a good quantity. This is probably about 16 ounces or so worth of nut meat, and this can last in the fridge up to a week. And you can add it to your salads, anything you want to.
Beautiful.
That I may not go full 100 with you guys, but I will say it looks good. You did a great job, excellent demonstration, and of course your teacher, coach, trainer, anything you call him, is certainly pleased as fun. So he has no complaints.
Oh no!
Thank you so much.
So besides the garlic thing now, that kind of threw me off. Let me go to teacher, coach, anything for you personally. But Iwara, what about the garlic? Was that something that she just threw in herself that she just slipped under the table and you didn't teach her that part of it, or was that also a part of the process? And you worked on that as well?
What in what sense? What do you mean? I mean garlic. I mean, there are many and very different levels where you're gonna go to, But we're talking for persons
Oh,
who...
sorry. Let me say. I think you mentioned for sweetness, or maybe I missed something.
No, she was saying
No.
no. Yeah, she was saying that she added some dates. Now, dates is
Oh,
like
dates.
a
Gotcha.
right, some dates for sweetener. So dates is like a dried fruit, like a raisin, but she's using
Right.
dates, which is even more flavorful in my eyes. But so that's what she was saying.
Okay.
But yeah,
The meal aspect of it was to basically garlic, which is always good for the body overall. Adding that and you get a full meal out of it. With all the things you added, yeah, it's really mostly a flavorful dish overall.
right.
So we're approaching a break short, but before we get to that, a personal story from you as well in terms of your transition. Was this from a long time before you went into this side of applying raw veganism to your personal life, or how did you come by doing this?
Okay, so I'm a vegan from I was about 16 years old. I think it was like fourth form or fifth form in high school. Started to have acne, and my parents sent me to the family doctor, and she said it was teenage bumps. And I said to her, "How comes every teenager doesn't have it?" And she giggled, and she couldn't give me an answer. And then when I went back into the town, I saw this Rasta man. I still see him up to recent in Brownstown Center, and he said to me, "Just change your diet, drink more water, include more fruits and vegetables, and so forth." And I did that, and he said, "Don't use that soap that you're using on your face. Forget it and just use water." And I had results. And then from there on, it was the vegan lifestyle. And then I heard Muta Baruka interviewed Dr. Tori Edwards, I think he was, who was going raw for however long. And then the big moment came when I heard him interviewed Aris Latam, who I considered to be the father of this raw food movement, He's credited as in the American Food and Drug Encyclopedia as the father of the raw food movement. So in 2005, I actually met Aris when I came back from England, and I went to one session with him, and he did raw ackee, and from that day I just never go back to nothing.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
I never heard that story. Cool.
Amazing story. You see what I can bring out of our guest, Tashna, you can learn from me, All right. Before we head to the break, could you give me some medical evidence, scientific evidence for why this approach you believe is the best, if not one of the best ways to take your life forward, if you want to put it that way, financially, nutritionally, etc.
Well, Tashna could talk about the financial side of it, but because she kind of, she's very meticulous in terms of looking out, and that's what I like about her approach. Because then people used to have a lot of excuse about, it's too expensive and so forth. So Tashna can touch that very much for you. When it comes to the scientific part of it, I heard you said like you're a carnivore by heart, but if we actually look at the physiology and the anatomy of an individual, you can tell what that animal is meant to eat. And I can tell you that you are not a carnivore. Scientifically, anatomy, physiology-wise, nothing about you suggests that you are. Because whatever classification, or when you semototype, which is grouping based upon body structure and so forth that you're supposed to eat, there is a unique identifier that can put you into a particular category. And every animal on this earth, except humans who really participate in meat eating, their liver actually produce a liver enzyme we call uricase. And the sole purpose of uricase is to manage uric acid coming in from the diet, because it will now convert that uric acid into allantoin, which is a water-soluble thing that will help the kidney to filter that out easily. Now, every tiger, every lion, every dog, their liver produce uricase. And that doesn't happen for humans. Our liver does not produce any uricase. And not only that, there's no donkey either whose liver produces uricase. There's no cow. There's no camel. So it is strictly a carnivorous feature. So if you say you are a carnivore, Well, why is it that your liver isn't producing any uricase? And one condition that you will end up with at some point in time, if you are continue to consume meat and you're not producing uricase, is what we call gout, because the uric acid is not going to be filtered out by the kidneys anymore, and that's going to be released and left down into the toes, coming up arthritic conditions. That's one. So scientifically, I could tell you about 30 different features about you right now in terms of teeth structure, your facial muscle, the fact that your digestive tract length is way different and fits you in nowhere except a frugivore. I mean, you are closely related, or you could see that you have a lot of herbivorous features as an animal, but you're strictly a frugivore. You're more a fruit-eating being. And if you think about it, intuitively, that's the first thing you'd eat. Because if you were left here without anybody influencing your thinking about food, or you have a blank and unconditioned mind, and hunger came upon you, you would not see cows in a pen and go, wow, dinner. you wouldn't even, so the first thing is that you will naturally eat fruits. That's the first thing. Just like how a cow naturally eat grass and a lion would naturally eat meat, you would only naturally eat fruits. So you're really not a carnivore. And when it comes to raw though...
Sorry about that. Let's go for a quick break. But you're doing a good job, Doing a good job. You're building a case. I like it. All right, let's go for a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right, no problem.
Okay.
Livewell Pharmacy has many services for diabetics. Stop by for your free blood sugar machine while stocks last. The time by Livewell Pharmacy is
2 minutes on the downside of 6 o'clock.
We have only for prizes a summer thing. So make you flew and take you wheel for your spin. All you do a look for the text to come in, and then you click on the link for your win. Spice it up, activate, add it up, elevate, pin it up, let's go, win it up, quick. Join your mobile phone to your home, or app plan to your floor phone.
Win tablets, smartwatches, mobile plans, Google Home Minis, and more. When you spice up your summer with Flow, just add your mobile to your home internet or activate any 5-day or higher unlimited data plan to win. Everybody wins every time.
Add it up and spice it up with Flow.
Dial *129*6 to activate, or visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
Enjoy the new Protex. Same protection, but now enriched with natural flaxseed oil. Eliminates 99.9% of bacteria naturally. Protex, for the good health of your skin.
Jamaicans and donors at home and abroad, the Jamaica Customs Agency is cognizant that the speedy clearance of humanitarian aid in times of disaster is crucial. Join us and other border regulatory agencies for a virtual public forum in our CCC series. Click, connect, and converse with Customs Thursday, July 29, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. under the theme JCA and BRAs, facilitating efficient and effective clearance during national disasters. That's a virtual public forum on clearing humanitarian aid, Thursday, July 29, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Visit www.jacustoms.gov.jm to register and to participate. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
Look out for the poor. Share a meal. Help a child with a textbook, whatever you can. If you help the poor, you are lending to the Lord, says Proverbs 19, verse 17. Let's work together to make Jamaica a gentler, kinder society. A message from the Church of the Open Bible, 12 Washington Boulevard. Join in our worship service Sundays at 8 a.m. right here on Love 101.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, currents. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101. Every first and last Tuesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Home and Things, your construction finishes superstore.
Hey, psst, come closer. I want to tell you my secret. My son wears his favorite shirt for everything, and no matter how much he runs, jumps, and plays, it always looks like new and smells really good. My secret? I use Suavitel Superior Care. Keeps my family's clothes as good as new. Suavitel, as soft as a mother's love.
It's back and it's bigger than ever. It's the Fosrich Super Summer Sale, Monday, July 19 to 29, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Get your project started with amazing deals on electrical lighting, LED bulbs, and more. Stuck in the office? Then shop online. Visit fosrich.com/shop and save. It's the Fosrich Super Summer Sale, Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay, July 19 to 29. See you there.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It is approximately 6 minutes past the hour of 6 p.m. and you are tuned to Love 101. This is Family Time, brought to you by Family Life Ministries, FLM. FLM provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges for all walks of life. Listen out for our numbers in Kingston and Portmore at the end of this program. Remember, we're Facebook and YouTube live. So tune into the program via the Love 101 Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our Mamir Tafari, Tashna Summers, are our special guests. Tashna has been a vegetarian or vegan for 3 years, and she's today she's approaching. She's 117 days strong as a raw vegan, or should I say a raw vegan challenge. All right, through the I Am Eater journey. Journey through the I Am a Plant Eater platform. She offers a weekly market run service and a plant-based meal option service. However, Mamir Tafari is owner and founder of Me Hungry Wholesome Food and a wellness coach. All right, so welcome back, guys. I want you to just close that point out in terms of what we were saying, Mr. Mamir Tafari, and then we move into some other areas.
Okay, yeah. One of the things I would like to point to, and this is significant for persons who is still questioning the scientific basis for eating raw. Okay, there in 1930, there is a Russian scientist called Dr. Paul Kuchikov, who actually carried out a case study in Switzerland. Well, what happened is that before that case study, there was always a typical or normal thinking that when you eat, your body produces more white blood cells. And for anybody who knows, when your body is producing a lot of white blood cells, it is normally reacting in a defense manner. And so that same thing will happen if you're in a car accident and things going wrong. When you're having a fever or flu, your body starts to go into defense mode. White blood cells start to produce. If you have HIV, if you find yourself with cancer, now, how would you explain why that is taking place when you're eating? Because that shouldn't be, but that was considered normal. That's when we actually found out that when you eat live food, when you eat food in its raw state, your body does not produce any white blood cells. And white blood cells is only generally produced when your body is facing issues and it has to go into defense. Now, we wouldn't want to be having a cancer, fever, flu, and having that same thing. And then when we're eating for nutrition, your body is doing the same thing. So until that case studies, no one has any idea that you could actually eat food and your body does not produce white blood cells. Right? So that is a significant scientific case studies that was carried out in 1930 by.
All right. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate that. All right. So let me just quickly plug in that our program may be interrupted. That's for our viewers. The Prime Minister is planning, or there's a plan for him to make 6:15 conference, I should say, at around 6:15, and they'll be streaming live on their platforms. And so, just in case we have to break or we get interrupted, that would be the reason. All right, so let's prepare for that just in case we have to break in the next few minutes. All right, so thanks for that as well. No, I'm not saying you're going to completely so convinced overboard, but I love what you're saying. I love what you're just kidding. I do appreciate it, and I wouldn't have a problem visiting your restaurant and at least giving it a try. So I'm not averse to it. All right. Let's move quickly though. Are there any? So you mentioned the scientific side. Tashna has spoken or can speak to the financial side, and you mentioned the nutritional side. But we're gonna have to kind of truncate a little bit because of course, the pending situation. So, what are some steps for a family to actually make transition? What would you say is allowed or maybe not allowed in terms of going forward in this type of, or at least let's say you're gonna give it a shot, maybe a month of trying it out. What would you say you would be looking at in terms of things you should or should not use? Let me first go with the novice going into a pro. Tashna, then I go to the expert trainer teacher. Tashna, so initially, what were some of the tips that you would have in terms of things that you had to restrain yourself from using in a regular day-to-day, as opposed to now transitioning to the raw approach?
Okay, so thanks for that question. For me, the first thing before you even get to the food I want to eat is your mind. Your mind has to be in it. You have to really be geared up towards it, because if your mind is not set up for it to win it, then it doesn't even make sense to start. You really have to get your mind in the game and know that it's not as complex as it may seem. You eat fruits daily. It's just kind of introducing it more into your meals. And what you can find is on my page, I'm a plant eater. You will see what I eat daily. I catalog for 100 days what I eat every day. And one of the key things in becoming raw vegan is eating what you like. Don't force yourself. Eat the fruits you like. Eat the vegetables you like. And go to Coronation Market. If you have a local market near you, go to the Coronation Market, because that's the best way to save your money. On a weekly basis, I catalog every time I go to the market, and I spend on average $3,000 every week buying fruits and vegetables. I mean, I'm only catering to myself, but if I were to buy what I buy in the supermarket at Coronation Market, I could not sustain this lifestyle at all. So going to the local market is key, and eating what you love is key, and getting your mind ready is also key.
I guess if I may interject, one of the things you could look at, because in terms of business and other things, for example, products that people might look at, I guess how you look at the flip side is if it's deemed as expensive, and in our economy, it could be seen as the thing that is of higher financial order, as opposed to just quickly getting some flour and some other. Those are obviously cheaper. But then I guess in the long run, you'd say it's more expensive having to visit a doctor and to be dealing with an ailment, as opposed to making this switch, or at least going this side to try to alleviate some of the maybe long-term issues that you may face. And then you have to address it, because you have to be going to the doctor or having medical attention, when this expense, quote unquote, would have alleviated that. So maybe that's the trade-off.
Absolutely.
So for persons who may not want to go cold turkey, meaning start to use an animal, who may not want to go cold turkey, as they say, and eat cutting what they used to immediately. And then, of course, I know, for example, if I observe persons who, let's say, they don't want, when they buy food on the road or whatever, they don't want no vegetables, especially men. They want no vegetables, they just want the meat and the rest. How could you speak to someone who it doesn't really have a love for vegetables or maybe food? There's some persons who really don't. What can they do to maybe step in? I don't know if you want to jump in as well, Mr. Mamia Safari as well, but
take that one.
For you, Tasha, what would for persons who may say, boy, I don't know, the vegetable and the fruit thing, it can't pass my throat, What can you say to them to really help them along that way?
Well,
yeah, the first thing I would want to say to somebody, is that the best thing to do is try it for a day and see how you feel. Now, there are certain things that you just I'm almost certain that every Jamaican have a one fruit or vegetable that they like. And for me, it's not important to give a cow who is a herbivore a variation of grass. Nobody think about that. When you tie a cow in a pasture, you leave him there and that's grass and that's it. When it comes to fruits, fruit is basically carbon. And carbon is the closest thing to pure energy. So fruits is the closest thing you have that is going to convert to, your energy. So the best thing is if you like mangoes, then just eat nothing but mangoes. If that's what you have to do it for a day. Then when you start to realize that you're getting better bowel movement, it's easier to wake up, you don't struggle. And when you start to see those results, then that would be encouraging. Weight loss gonna come as an extension. And then that would be encouraging to just go. So if you're a jackfruit lover and you love jackfruit, go ahead. And if whatever it is, stick with that, do most of that. And then if you do it one day and it feels better, then do it 2 days and do it 3 days. Because I have to do that with persons already. Sometimes I'm talking to people and they're just not ready for my 96-day program. And I say, okay, let's do 3 days. And then 3 days we could go, turn it up and turn 7. But one thing I'm going to say to you people though is that anybody who goes in fruits, vegetables 3 days, then when they go back to eating the meat and the and it's not just meat, but it's also like flour, white, pasty stuff and things that are void in its fiber and so forth. Then they are now going to see the difference. It's when you have not tried it, then you think that what you're feeling and everything is normal.
Yeah, that's it.
But anyhow, you go for 3 days with just foods. Just give yourself a cleanse. Give yourself a break. Just go for 3 days. And then when you go back, you're going to realize, okay, something is definitely wrong. It's like somebody who has always been driving in a car that the shocks is not right. And, you're driving in the road and you just think that's how a car ride is supposed to feel. Right. Until probably only offer you a ride in his more comfy zone. And then you don't want to go back.
Come on. Let's go. Speak that thing, my brother. All right. So you ended on a brilliant note a while ago. So I'm going to leave you right there. I don't want you to say anything else to convince you otherwise. So let's go to Tasha now. And your meal planning, you spoke about that, a little bit of that in terms of your meal planning. Now, your approach for meal planning is what exactly? How do you approach the start of a week to navigate through that week before you get to going to the market again?
Okay. So it all starts with eating what I enjoy, eating what I love. And I mostly eat fruit. So I would start I go to the market every Saturday and I do offer that as a service, a market run on my page. I'm a plant eater. So every Friday I will go through my fridge, see the fruits I have remaining, see what is lacking, the vegetables I have remaining, and write my list from there. And then I go to the market and I shop. I shop with what I like. I also shop for what is in season because it's usually more affordable. And I just watch the market trend as it relates to different fruits and vegetables. And then if most of us are working from home, but if I have to go on the road.
Sorry, let me interject. Sorry about that. So let me interject. You had mentioned earlier, I'm going to let you continue. You had mentioned earlier that initially you had overstock in terms of the number of things you have. So boy, I'm going to need all of this for me because what I think I need to get is not going to be sufficient. How do you know?
Yes.
So you've now alleviated the overstocking. But let's say you have fruits, because some, of course, have a kind of shelf life. How do you stock your fruit or store your fruit if you're not going to be using it for a time, or you say that you have more than you need for initial period? Let's say you eat a little less than you're used to. What do you do? Incorporate that in your...
So there are products out there that help to maintain the lifespan of the fruits. There's a local supply called Sealer Preserve. It's a produce bag. Once you put it in there, it helps to extend the life of the produce. But I just watch how I eat, because there are times when I do have things that might go bad, because as I already said, when you're eating fruits and vegetables, filled with so much fiber, you're filled up. It's amazing. 1-2 pounds of melon can settle me for about 3 hours or 4 hours, right? So it's really understanding how you eat, and after, as I already said, you try the food and you get to see how your body responds. You know to adjust it. So after a while, you gauge yourself. You might overbuy at one point, but then as you realize how you go through the week, you don't really need to buy that much of that thing. So for today, for example, what have I had? I had sweet sop. My first meal was melon with some dates and passion. And then my second meal was some sweet sop. And then I had apple. That's all I've had since morning. And I'm not hungry right now.
If I may interject too, when you're talking about, overbuying, this is what we do. This is a good thing to do. You can turn every one of those fruits into some smoothie. Most people have a bullet. I mean, trade in your stove. Trade your stove for your blender. Get a blender.
Careful.
And you put, yeah, but you're gonna spend less time with gas and all of that. You pack your stuff. If I have mangoes and they're getting overripe, you peel, you slice, you package those. So you don't have to. You just have a freezer, you throw those in there. You throw that in your bullet, you pour coconut water on it, and you blend that. You get in like melted ice cream. If you do frozen jackfruit, and you throw coconut milk with it, and you blend that, add some cinnamon, you're getting melted ice cream. So and those can be you can freeze that in the fridge and take it to you in a liquid format with ice in there, pack your little things. There's really no excuse to taking care of yourself. There's really no excuse, because you're going to have to do it at some point in time. So every time I hear somebody say, I can't afford, I say you cannot afford not to. You have to. So freeze these things and put them. And then what you can also do when you're buying your fruits, we prefer our fruits ripe, but then you can buy it in a little, some ripe, some turn. Your papayas, they will still ripe easily, your mangoes and so forth. So that's another way you can kind of extend it out,
Right, instead of buying like a banana, whatever, all ripe, and you have to
right. Exactly.
Gotcha.
I like that tip, I will utilize it as well.
All right. So we got the meal planning down. So in terms of support for persons who would love to entertain dip their toes in and maybe a full dive into this particular lifestyle or approach, then what can they do? And before you respond, I want to remind the listeners that the program may still be interrupted to facilitate COVID-19 press briefing from the Office of the Prime Minister. So a quick reminder, listeners and viewers, that the program may be interrupted to facilitate a COVID-19 press briefing from the Office of the Prime Minister. We're fast approaching the end of the program. A few minutes left, and I'm enjoying the conversation. We're going to take a quick break, and hopefully we'll have a little time to wrap up and speak a little bit more. All right, so let's go for a quick break, and we'll be right back.
That's on.
Okay, no problem.
apologies. We're going to go back to our guests, but unfortunately, for the time being, the conference is actually going to be coming on about now. So my apologies to our special guests, Tashna Samuels and Mr. Mamir Tafari. Thanks for being here with us. If you have any questions or of a personal nature or concerned about a friend or family member, call us at Family Life Ministries. For our center in Portmore, it's 117 Cecile Avenue, 876-939-7917. For councils in Kingston and other parts of the island, contact our head office, 920-1034, 926-8101, and we'll connect with you. Remember, if you are or someone you know would like counseling or dealing with any issue in the family relationship or just everyday life, please contact Family Life Ministries counselors. Note that appointments can only be made by calling the offices. Otherwise, keep up to date with what's happening with the FLM and our programs. Find us on Facebook, FLM Ministries, on our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life, FLMJA. Before we leave, here's our, okay.
A big thank you for listening to Family Time this afternoon right here on Family Radio Love 101. And you're now invited to listen to a COVID-19 press briefing from the Office of the Prime Minister.
July 14th.